we're prophesying against the false prophets, man. And just like I said, all right, and maybe someone else said it too, but I definitely said it. I said now that Alizé was exposed, that ISUBK was next, and that he's saving Israel United in Christianity for last. All right, and now the leader of ISUBK is being compromised.
The nigga camp.
The ones who serve the nigga God.
Nigga
all right,
God. Real nigga university.
That smoke weed. All right, them niggas who say that being with a white woman is a sin when that's not found in the Bible anywhere. All right, but anyway.
And they say it's the MOTB too.
Yeah, right. And that's also not found in the scriptures anywhere. All right, but we're gonna get on this guy Mark Forever. Shut up. Just shut up, man. You don't know what you're talking about. All right? So we're going to get on you first. The Great Millstone does not teach a great doctrine. You know, you clowns out there need to stop with the lies. You need to stop with the slander, man. As a matter of fact, the original men who said that apologized. Then they turned around and did the shit again. Because that's what they do. They can't compete with the knowledge and understanding of the scriptures. So they refer to slander, and they play into the ignorance of the people, all right? And he had that guy on this video in the ancient world, all right? And even in some cultures still today, among other Shemite nations, among the Elamites and among many of the Elam and Ishmael, they still betrothed to women at a very young age. And it's part of their culture. As a matter of fact, that whole region, of Western Asia, North Africa, that whole region, that was known, even up further into Asia, into the portion of Asia they call Europe. You watch the period pieces, right? And all the period pieces during the medieval times, these young girls, recently in the Game of Thrones.
Last Kingdom, both of them.
These girls are just barely, as soon as they reach their womanhood. Remember when Sansa was trying to hide the fact that she started bleeding?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
She said, no, don't tell Cersei. She didn't want the Queen Cersei to know, because then she was going to immediately send her little wicked-ass son in there to seed her up.
Yeah.
Sansa started bleeding. All right, she was a young girl. She's what, about 13, 14, maybe?
14 in the saga, yeah.
And she had just started her period. And she didn't want to, and the whore chick helped to hide it. She was like, I'm gonna help you protect the secret. All right, because she woke up and found the blood in her bed, and she was afraid because she didn't want to marry Joffrey. She didn't want to have his children. All right, because Joffrey was only a few years older than her. He couldn't have been no more than 15 or 16.
Yeah.
Right? Well, he'd have took his small wee in there, and he'd have seeded her up.
But what happened though? They married him to the uncle, and he was 40 in the movie.
Exactly.
He was 40,
and he never touched her.
Yeah, he didn't want to. Because he knew it was folly.
Yeah,
not because she was young, but because it was folly.
Right, because if it's anybody else, he'd have banged her.
Yeah.
Right, because he was all about banging broads.
Yeah.
All right?
They did it on House of Dragons too. When they was trying to find the king another wife, they went to the silver hair house, I can't remember their name.
Right, and they had their young girl. She was also mad. She was betrothed.
She said it like, they said you won't have to bed me till I'm about 13 though.
Yeah.
They said it in the show.
Yeah, and that little one, yeah.
Exactly. So you guys are being effeminate. You're trying to appeal to your female audience so you continue to get payments. You're trying to appease the world and not speak the truth, man. Now we're not saying that we do that today. We're living, under Esau's rule. But the laws of God is above the laws of men, and that is in the Bible. All right, it's very much in the Bible. Always has been. All right. Bring them out, brother.
Hey, real quick, get that Jeremiah. Just showing what the elder said.
This is the book of Jeremiah, 2:33. It says, "Why trippest thou thy way to seek love?
Yeah.
Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways."
Exactly. So they got this old black woman ass attitude where you try the scriptures not to appease to the world. All right, the scriptures say that he that is friends with the world is the enemy of how about Shem Shot. All right, the scriptures go into seeking ye the old paths. These are the old paths. All right, but like the elder Malcolm said, we not our land nor our language. We under the captivity of Esau, so we understood
we don't teach or push brothers to do that.
At
Ain't
all.
nobody in GMS doing that. They will be kicked out, man. There's nobody doing that, but what we're saying is that it's biblical. And so as soon as we taught it, all of a sudden they got a problem. See, these people are ashamed of the gospel, man.
That's
Job
right.
8:8 says, search out the ways of thy fathers. This was the ways of our fathers. All right?
This is Ezekiel 2:9. And when I looked, and behold, an hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was written therein. And he spread it before me, and it was written within and without, and there was written therein lamentations and mourning and woe.
Right, so the Bible is full of dark sayings, man. Right, and if you want to perceive this simple truth as a dark saying, that a woman can be wed literally the day after she starts bleeding, that's your problem, man. The Lord set it up to be that way. It clearly says, pass the flower, once she receives the flower of her age, pass the flower of her age. That means the same thing that happened to Sansa in that show. Sansa woke up, 14 years old, and saw the blood on her bed and started panicking, right? Because she knew now, damn, now this nigga gonna try to come and not satisfy me and bore me for 10 minutes, if that, right? And I don't want, and she didn't want to be with him. Okay? She saw how wicked he and his family was. Finally.
She was a little girl, but she was excited.
At
She
first
wanted to
she
get
was.
married to that Mo though. No, but Lawrence Tyrell, that Mo, he was a grown man. He was like 30-something years old. But she was excited. She didn't know he was a Mo. She was excited. She like, I want Sir Lawrence. And he was a grown man. She didn't have no problem with it. She said, I like him, I want him.
Yeah, it is.
He was a punk and he was a warrior like a motherfucker, but he was born in Ridley. But that shows you. She didn't say, oh, he's 30 years old. She like, I want him. She was down with that. If really was down with that. But he was a punk. Who got that? Yeah, get that. And then you got nothing, man.
This is the book of Acts.
Because this is all that is, man.
This is Acts chapter 5, verse 38. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught.
So, and they was talking about the apostles and the disciples when they said, but we gonna see who stand in the end. We gonna see who counsel be of men. Keep reading real quick. Just let you know that these them same bitch ass niggas back today. Go ahead.
Right, who
39.
just blurt out their opinions and tell them, I'm gonna come with the receipts. That didn't happen in the ancient world. All right?
Nigga, please.
And the same, right. It's like, man, you don't, really, what book you been reading?
It happened 100 years ago, right here in America.
I've often
Right
told
here in
you,
America.
my grandmother was 14 years old when she married my grandfather, man. And they
I
had,
bet he was 25.
he was about, he wasn't 25, he's probably about 20, 21. But nevertheless, but nevertheless, she was 14, man. Barely passed the flower of her age. And he was like, 20, 21 years old, man, when she married him. Right? And they ended up having 12 kids. Okay? Two of them died. So, so my father had four brothers and 5 sisters. It was 10 of them.
He wasn't on child support either.
Okay?
Read.
Bring it out.
No, he ain't done with this. Damn, y'all bulldogs, man.
Go ahead, brother.
Acts 5 and 39. But if it be of Yahweh, ye cannot overthrow, lest happily ye be found even to fight against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua.
And that's why they come up with all these personal attacks. That's why they come up with lies, because they know they can't get the thus said the Lord, thus said the Bible.
The Lord's
and beat
not dealing with
GMS.
them on that. Like I said,
Yeah.
it's something as simple as the chariots. They'll speak on the chariots, right? But I've never seen a video with ISUBK. I've never seen a video with any other Israelite group where the chariots show up and it's on camera while they're in camera.
Shit, I've never seen him speak on it.
I've never seen it because the Lord's not dealing with them like that. Damn near every GMS camp has had encounters with chariots while at camp. Damn near every one of them, man. All right? Or just basically we getting together. We'll be getting together, just gathering together, and the chariots will come over here and start changing colors and moving in ways that man-made aircrafts cannot.
To let us
We
know
catch
what
it all on camera. Well, I've even heard brothers pray that they give you a sign to show that you're a chariot, and they disappear and reappear. They change colors, they change shapes. That's not the Lord's not dealing with these other camps, man. That's why they keep returning to that same vomit, that same great vomit lie. All right, that's never happened amongst CMS, man. All right, we don't do that, man. That's because we teach that's because it is in the Bible, it's biblical. All right, bring out that scripture you have.
Now, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 36. But if any man think that he behaveth himself uncomely toward his virgin young woman, if she pass the flower of her age and needs so require, let him do what he will.
Let him do what he will. So if she's past the flower of her age and he's 40, he's 30, the Lord said, not what Mark Forever said, not what lion-ass Captain Cesarion said, not what them lion-ass niggas from these other camps said. What the Bible say?
It says, if she pass the flower of her age and needs so require.
Fuck what you niggas talking about, you lying pussy pieces of shit.
That's right. Read. Let him do what he will. He sinneth not. Let them marry.
Let them marry, man. All right? It's an easy thing to prove that. Genesis 24:67. Bob the shot. How is that done? How do you get married? So what he just said, if she passed the flower age, that means that this girl is between 12 and 15 years old. All right? Most girls get their period way before they 15, most of them, unless they real skinny and malnutrition. All right? When I was a kid, you know, I remember a couple girls got it early, man. Some at 11. All right? But normally it happens between 12, 13, 14, normally. All right? 15 is kind of late. Because most girls is fucking by the time they're 15. That was, at least when I was a kid, that was the average age for a girl. Matter of fact, when I was a kid, the average age for a girl to lose her virginity was 15. The average age was 16 for a male. That was when I was a kid. All right? Exactly. And I'm the oldest man standing here right now. All right? Go ahead. Yeah, things have definitely changed.
This is Genesis 24:67. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah, and she became his wife.
There it is. So sex is marriage. Go back to the other scripture. So these precepts, all right? Didn't King David tell you a prundite precepts? Or the precepts? Somebody get that in Psalms 104. I think it's 104 and 19. All right, it's a bunch of them in Psalms 104 actually. But or is it in Psalms 119 and 104? I said it backwards.
It's the book of Psalms.
You got it. Go ahead, bro.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 104. It says, through thy precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way.
Right, so what they're teaching is a false way. They're slandering us. All right? Because once again, them lying-ass niggas in ISUPK, them lying-ass people in IUIC, and all them other bootleg and add-water Israelites, you know, them post-pandemic elders,
straight elders,
them add-water, add-water Israelites came out of nowhere, fitted hat wearing, you know, head covered, disrespecting the scriptures already. So I guess we can't even be mad that they gonna slam. But what these precepts said is what we said. All right, we said what the precepts said. What they're saying is not. Read those two precepts again. Con, you can read that one next.
1 Corinthians 7:36. But if any man think that he behaveth himself uncomely toward his virgin young woman, if she pass the flower of her age, period, and needs so require, let him do what he will.
That's exactly what Joseph did with Mary. Before they had the ceremony and their marriage was, you know, before they had the ceremony and all that, she was betrothed to him, his young virgin, all right? And he saw all them young, firm, sitting upright, you know, that curves and that little bump in the back.
no stretch marks.
And he couldn't wait. And he couldn't wait. He was like, the hell with that ceremony. All right? He said, right. That nigga Marvin Gaye started playing. Let's get it on. Right, but anyway, but you know, we've been making a joke out of it, but that's what happened, man. As simple as that, man. So once again, We're saying what the scriptures say. You guys have a problem with the scriptures. You don't have a problem with Great Millstone. You have a problem with Yahweh Shah.
There it is.
Because this is in their word, man. And we're tired of you lying ass niggas throwing, you know, because that whole exposure of General Gehenna and his pervert actions, dealing with little boys and paying off the family so that they wouldn't speak. Right? We said that they would all be saying that they would come out. And I'm not shocked. Hell, he's caught on camera talking about doing it in the butt multiple times.
He was talking about a man's
Right.
butt. What that nigga say? A man's butt.
Yeah. So now that your leader's compromised, maybe he gonna do what Alizé did and sell the breakdowns on that.
How to deal with this situation with humility.
Right. Exactly. And how you already dealt with the situation with humility when you let some white dude peg your woman. All right. So what was going on? She pegged you, and then he pegged her. Is that what the hell was going on?
Human centipede.
You know?
No, the dude, see, the white man fucked his lady, and he said, whatever that white man did to you, I want you to do to me. He said it.
That's a weak man. Anybody who's still following him, anybody who's following that dude, you deserve what's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
And that shows that if you still following him, if you still carry that name, if you still gonna
24:16.
Yeah. Well, anyway, man, and ISUPK is next, man. Captain Tazariak already took down one video.
All that nigga, we
was
real
showing all
niggas.
that nigga shit that has nothing to do with the doctrine, nothing to do with edification whatsoever, man.
Read the scripture though, going to it.
Right?
Hey, Elder Malcolm,
but look,
I had something back in this Genesis for you on the 24th.
Bring it out.
Real quick. Go to the 16th verse. I want to show them something. I'm going to learn you niggers something today. Read.
This is the book of Genesis 24 and 16. And the damsel was very fair to look upon, a virgin, neither had any man known her.
You see that? That lets you know sex is marriage at the end of the verse, but go ahead and click into that. Notice it says she was a damsel and a virgin. Go in the damsel.
Right, because a damsel is that broad right there. You know, she'd have had just as much as her birthdays or more, all right, as far as men are concerned. All right, but a virgin, he says she's a damsel and a virgin.
Read that damsel
Right?
verse.
H5291, Nara, it says of a young woman.
A young woman. It says a little girl. Read.
It says girl, damsel, little girl.
A little girl. Read it again.
So these guys, like you said,
a little girl.
they have a problem with the precepts with the Bible, man. All right? Through thy precepts, we can understand it. We've given you 3 solid precepts. One proving sex is marriage, and 2 proving that a woman can be gone on into at the flower of her age according to the Bible. And then you're gonna go about it in the society of the most wickedest people that's ever existed.
They
but
let gay marriage go on.
you're gonna follow their way. In this country, they allow you to marry men.
Right.
All right. Until they allow you to marry animals. All right, and all kind of shit, man. But you're not talking about that. We're talking about something biblical that's actually within the boundary of the Lord's laws, and y'all got a problem with it because y'all some bitch niggas.
Right.
All right, false prophets, man.
Right.
They always come with that lying ass, that's some gay ass shit, man. They keep coming with that slander. Like every time you get defeated through the gospel, every time you get beat down because you don't have the precepts understanding, the Holy Spirit's not dealing with you. You run back to, but y'all great little girls.
Because they
though.
got it from their black mama.
It's like, really, nigga, you coming with that bullshit again? Which has been, I don't know how else to say it, man. You know, these guys, they lack the spirit and they lack understanding, man.
Well, the Lord put a delusion on them. It's a little more to this definition because he finna just cut it.
Go ahead, he already killed them, but go ahead.
This is H5291 for damsel.
H meaning Hebrew,
Nigga.
all right?
It says girl, damsel, little girl. It says of young woman, marriageable young woman.
See that? That's the part I wanted. A little girl, marriageable young woman. What that mean, nigga? Who got that for the definition for the flowers?
I got it right here.
Read that.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 15 and verse 24. It says, and if any man lie with her at all, and her flowers be upon him, he shall be unclean 7 days, and all the bearer on Eliab shall be unclean. So when you get it in the Good News translation, it's even plainer. It says Leviticus 15:24 in the Good News. It says if a man has a sexual intercourse with her during her period, he is contaminated by her. Impurity remains unclean for 7 days, and any bed on which he lies is unclean.
There you go. Because sometimes you born a woman and it make her period come down. She hadn't got a period
Catch
yet.
up on the hot dog.
Right, exactly. But you know, it's happened to me before.
You know,
Right? And all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck? And it happens.
you thought it was wet.
You
God
unclean.
damn.
Right, exactly. It happened. Because
She ain't
it
unclean.
wasn't there when you started. All right, but you know, sometimes doing emotion, you make it come down. And it happens. So, but once again, the Bible is giving you an example and a breakdown of the situation. That's all it's doing. It says, so if that happens to you, now you are unclean. Not forever, for the period of time. Just like there's the definition on seasonal woman. All right, the explanation. But before we get to that, let's go back to this marriage thing. Let's go to the history. All right, see what the AI and ChatGPT has to say about marriage. All right, during the period of time that we're speaking about. And matter of fact, even if you go back just 100, 150, 200 years ago.
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
It says ancient Greece, girls were typically married in this AI. It said ancient Greece, girls were typically married as young as.
You know, if you was waiting, you still be waiting.
Ancient Greece, girls were typically married as young as 14 to 16 years old, while men were usually older, often in their late 20s or early 30s.
Now that would be called a perv today.
Yep.
That
If
feminist
you
just
did
looked
that.
at you crazy.
All right.
She just looked at the brother crazy.
It says ancient Rome.
Well, she's already in that. She probably married and got married at 14 or 15.
She did.
Yeah.
To a guy who was like 30, 35.
Yep.
He was
All right?
just an Ishmaelite.
There was an
so she
Ishmaelite
ain't
that just
like
walked by with a head cover.
It says
Right.
it says ancient Rome.
Yeah, because she got a head cover, but she wearing them fitted pants with her cheeks all out.
God.
She can't, because she can't wear that back where she from.
Right.
So how you gonna have to? You gonna wear the tights, you know, because she has some decent cheeks too. But you gonna wear the tights, but you gonna cover up your head though.
Ass back.
Right.
Ass back.
But every time you walk,
It says ancient Rome. Roman girls could marry as early as 12 years old, which was considered the age of puberty, while boys were expected to be at least 14.
so that, wait, were not the Israelites all intermixed and intermingled in ancient Rome?
Mm-hmm.
I got Egypt.
Right? Okay.
It says, however, marriages were often arranged to strengthen family alliances. This is medieval Europe.
Yeah, so once again, you had them when to stop wars from happening, sometimes they marry. They were like, well, you know what, if we give our daughter to them, now we have family members in both kingdoms. They would do that to have peace. All right, they would do that. And so this family have a prince or sons. They got a couple sons, all right? And they didn't marry off the younger sons before the oldest. So if they had older sons and this man had daughters, they will make that happen. All right, and often these girls would sometimes weren't even to the flower age, and the husband would ride to come meet her. All right, and the whole thing was that she would keep her chastity. All right, and she wouldn't marry or be with another man until his liking. And if that, and once again, the scripture said, you know, if he was burning, as soon as she passed the flower of age, he came on that horse. Right. He came on that horse and to pick her up. To take her right back. Exactly.
Man's right.
That's what happened. All right, but go ahead.
It said medieval Europe. The age of marriage was also young, especially for noble families.
Now they're gonna, now if they happen to see this video, they're gonna ignore it. Matter of fact, they'll probably soundbite it.
Oh, yeah.
So what they're gonna do is they're gonna snip a soundbite And all the edification, all the scriptures and the history, they're gonna leave that part out. Because he's a yeah.
They got that. They learned that
Expect that
from
from
they
these
learned
slanderous,
from the best.
lion ass niggers.
That's right.
Double GER.
Right. It says,
They get it from
especially,
their mama.
it says, especially for noble families where girls could marry in their early teens to secure political or economic ties.
Like
Right.
sons.
And I've seen so many movies where the girl was mad as hell at her father and her mother. Right? You know, and because she was promised to some old fat fart. But she was already in love with the farm boy or the other dude, you know, that was close to her age.
They showed you that on
And they
Vikings.
were friends and they were dreaming of, we're gonna grow up and we're gonna get married, and then all of a sudden she get whisked away, she being given to some old ass dude. Yep. And now the dude all hurt because he in love with this girl and his dreams of marrying her is just gone because her family is gonna send her off to be with some dude that's, you know. You know, well, look, when you're 14, 15, somebody 25 is old as hell to you. All right?
Yeah.
You know, when you're 13 years old, somebody 21, 22, it's like they old as hell to you. So how much more if they 30, 32? And she mad as hell because she was, you know, in love with this boy who was just a couple years older than her. And he thinking that's my soulmate, right? And now some 30-year-old dude is clapping. And he all heartbroken. Until he get 30 and then it's his turn.
Yes.
Right. Then he grows up and he understands.
I understand it now.
It says, the last part says, these practices were shaped by the need to ensure lineage, property, inheritance, and social stability. It's fascinating to see how these traditions evolved over time. And that's it.
Hey, that was like that nigga, what's Andrew Tate, the other brother, Tristan Tate. He was talking about how his daddy cheated on his mom when he was like 12. He was like, Dad cheated on mom, he's horrible. He listening to the mom and the sister. He called the daddy, what is wrong with you? What did you? He said, shut up, nigga. He said it just like that. Shalom, bro.
I came to give you some veggie burgers. I'm giving those away.
All right, just set him over there, beloved.
Yeah.
The water.
Thank you.
But yeah, he said it. Yeah, he was telling his dad,
like I got this rotation now.
and he called him
like, you little nigger.
Yeah, he called him. He said, when I turned 17, 18, and I cheated on my girlfriend, I called my daddy like, yeah, man. Like, because he got older and was like, yeah, that, he get it. But when you
And not only
simple,
that-
you're a kid, you simple as hell.
Not only that, too, biblically, scripturally, right? Even in Islam, you can have multiple wives. Right. You definitely can, according to the Hebrew, to the Hebrew Bible. Because guess what? The Bible. Here's another thing that you Christians you need to understand. All right, and especially you members of Israel United in Christianity.
They the biggest
All right?
Christians on the planet.
You get the Hebrew. This is a Hebrew Bible, and the Hebrew God allows his men to have multiple wives. Remember, the 12 tribes came out of 4 different women. All right?
They wasn't black women.
Repeat. The 12 tribes came out of 4 different women. All right?
They wasn't black
They
women.
didn't have no weave either.
God's sake.
All
Hey, I
right?
told that to a nigga hey, look, like 5 years ago, 6 years ago probably now, 7 shit. I was on the bus with a nigga from ISUC. I knew he was in one of these camps because he had fucking fringes on under his t-shirt, so I spotted him like a sore thumb, and I just got to talking to the nigga. It was like 6 in the morning, and he was talking to me, he was asking about multiple wives. I said, you Israelite? He said, yeah. I said, well, how did the 12 tribes form? Because he said that they told him it was going off to have multiple wives. I asked him, I said, you an Israelite? I said, how many women that came out of the 12 tribes? He said, I don't even know. And I got to going into it with him, and he said, I didn't know that. This in the Bible? Them niggas in IUIC don't teach nothing.
Yeah,
Man.
well, you like you said, if Israel United in Christianity was actually putting up edifying videos, the internet will be broken.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Them
But
niggas
the truth,
marching,
but
man.
the truth is that them niggas is real good at left face and right face.
Right.
They good at that shit.
They want to be the
Right.
FOI.
You know?
Yeah.
They real good at that shit. But when it comes to breaking down the scriptures, they're not. And how many times you see videos with them getting confounded by Christians, man. And no Christians walked up on GMS and confounded us at all.
Not once.
The black woman rebuked them about the name. They let the black woman come up there and get their ass that Russian sweet.
What's up, brother? Bring it out, beloved.
Hey, yeah, y'all are teaching the commandments of men. All right, this is Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai that we're, you know what I'm saying, these precepts are coming out about. This is the book of Mark, the 7th chapter and the 7th verse, and it reads, "Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men."
Right, and that's what Mark forever, and you know when he did it, he did the expose on General Yohana, exposing him, all right, with his boy loving self. Now that it's out there, Tazariak, that's what you following, and you're a big soft dude anyway, man. Try to walk around like you hard, man. You just big for nothing, man. This is a waste.
DK?
All right, go ahead, brother.
For laying aside the commandment of our power, ye hold the traditions of men.
You hold the traditions of men, man, because the things you're teaching are not biblical, man. Lying with the white woman, with the Indian woman, with the snow, with the rice, with the spice, well, not the spice, but with the sand. All right, that's not sin in that, man. All right, that was 7 nations that we were not to touch, and those were among them Hamites, man. It didn't say that about the other nations at all, man. All right, and what part of you shall do unto them as they've done unto you, do you not understand, man? All right.
They don't want to upset the black
I mean, that's what they're worried about. You know, exactly. You know, in Deuteronomy, there's a whole breakdown on how to treat a captive slave, man. All right. So as we're bashing the nations, you know, with the rod of iron and putting them back into control, man. All right, and putting them under subjection, and all these fine ass young virgins and fine ass women running around, pretty as hell, you know, giving you the googly eyes. You know, you come on, man.
I got the law.
Stop. Bring it out, brother.
Niggas got the law.
This the book of
The law.
The law.
the commandments.
What's up, Nate? Law. You Pan-Africans. It's in his profile. I already brought it out.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah, it does. In his profile, it does say
Pan-African.
Yeah, he's a Pan-Africanist.
Brother, have you heard about the original man, brother?
Black man, brother.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21. It said, "When thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and the Lord Yahweh thy power hath delivered them into thy hands, and thou hast taken them captive."
So what happens when Esau goes down? When we come down off them chariots, the 144,000 and the rest of the elect, right? And we're going throughout the world establishing our kingdom. You know, and when it says to place upon them the punishments, the judgments, right? In Psalms 149, all right. What's happening? When you pulling them out of them bunkers, and you putting Esau in chains, and this woman walking around on fat shit, right? And he's been put to death. Come on, man. Because if they're now your property. They're now your property, man. And so you gotta have that war mentality, and your woman gonna be down with it. They all watch these period pieces, and the women are down with that man conquering them. The women are down with them. You go over there and you conquer them, you beat their ass, you fuck their wives. The women are down with that shit.
Israelites in Europe,
You know?
they down with that
They
shit.
like, no, go humble that bitch.
They love it.
You know, and she's glad for her husband to go humble that woman. Bring her back here so she can scrub my floor.
Exactly.
That's the mentality of these. And guess what? They're gonna, and you don't have it now. The Lord's gonna give it to you again. All right? The Lord's gonna give it to you again. And that's the problem with Jake, man. Is Jake does not have a ruling class mentality.
Nope.
At all.
They
are the ashamed. They're ashamed of the doctrine, man. All right, and it's funny too how you have some jiggable women say, "Oh, well, the hell with the black man, he's talking." All right, they gonna go squirrel, they gonna have chair babies. They ain't got nothing to say about them.
No.
Nothing at all.
They ain't,
All
because
right?
they
But here we are.
possessed.
But here we are talking about why you think that I'm gonna tell you right now. The most watched Israelite camp by Esau Edom. You looking at it.
That's it.
We're the ones that they're worried about. They're not worried about IUIC. They're not worried about Israel United with Christianity. They're not worried about ISUPK. Why? Those guys have contracts with Esau? Why you think they go out, give out food and all the other things that they do? You know all this. Yeah, you exactly that. That dude's a terror.
Speaking of a terror,
Yeah, that's a chocolate Edomite right there. More likely than not.
that nigga
Right.
might like him more.
But he a straight terror. Or either a Hamite.
Stone Cold Stunner.
Okay. Now he didn't look like Kush though, but he could be. But nevertheless, man, these Jakes don't have a ruling class mentality.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Okay.
This who taught Jake.
Because you can say what you want to say.
Look, Elder Malcolm, when you see that, not you, brother. Not you,
Yeah.
Remy Shad.
Back of the bus.
See the teacher
Yeah.
in you.
You see it? We see the teacher in you. A fat jigaboo. That's who taught you niggas, Big Shirley. That's why you act like you act.
Brother, no, real talk, because I was just thinking about this shit the other day. The so-called black community is a matriarch.
It is.
It's matriarchal.
It is.
That's why you niggas have no ruling class mentality.
It is.
That's why you're so emotional when we bring out the truth of the Bible. Because you're a matriarchal society.
You're absolutely right, brother. And the Bible is a very masculine book.
It's very
Hey,
patriarchal.
About four, maybe 5 years ago, my conversations with Luca, I never forget it. All right, the little chick Luca. What was Luca from? Czechoslovakia or wherever the hell she was from. I'm having this conversation with Luca. They were on Chicago Avenue protesting. All right. So I saw this was about a good 5-6 years ago. This was before the Edomite. It was a while back. So right around the same time. And I saw the spikes. I saw a little Israelite chick with her. That's what made me walk over there, honestly. When I saw her with her sign, I was like, you see the thing? You know? So I go over there to talk to her, right? And then this little chick Luca steps up, and we having these conversations. And it was, it was on some geopolitical shit. So I'm getting down with her, not telling her too much. But then when I started mentioning the Bible, Lucas was like, oh, no. No Bible. No Bible. She said the Bible's too patriarchal. The Bible's for men. Women don't have a voice in the Bible.
That's right.
So I don't want you to reference the Bible to explain yourself, because women don't have a voice in the Bible.
That's right.
And I was like, and you know what? And I looked at dead in the eyes and I said, you know what? You're right, Luke. And I kept talking to the little Mexican brother. But the point is, though, she was right, though. She was right.
Yeah.
She was absolutely right. She said, oh, no.
Yeah.
The Bible is patriarchal. And guess what? Israel united in Christianity and their brethren churches, the Baptist Church, the Methodist Church, all right, the Roman Catholic, the rest of the churches, they teach matriarchy, especially the Catholic Church, because they got a man in charge, but they worship a woman. They push a woman. They put a woman over the Lord.
Exactly.
It's Holy Mother Mary, Holy Mother so and so something. Right. Mother of the Lord, not the Lord.
Right.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a matriarchal society. Bring it out, brother.
This is the etymology for matriarch. It says a mother or a woman who leads a family or tribe, abstracted from patriarch, ultimately from Greek, arcane, to rule.
Yeah, man. So these guys, they were taught by Big Shirley, taught by their grandma, right? With all them extra, when she say goodbye, it swings from here.
Yeah.
Turkey. Yeah. They were taught. It's like, why she say it twice?
So that's why these niggas know that. So they play on your emotions to try and bring you against the prophets of the Lord, man.
Exactly. That's exactly what
That's
they
all
do.
it is, man. So you Israelites out there, you have to get out of your emotions.
Because you know what? They want the payments.
That's it.
See, guys like this Mark Forever that don't know shit, shut the fuck up, man. All right? Whoever that guy was that was giving a whole breakdown on the perverseness in the backdoor deals, the money that went out. I wonder how much money they collected from the Bible to pay his family off so that they wouldn't tell on General Kahane.
That's crazy.
Right? And I don't know if 100% of this is true. All right? I'm not saying it is true, but I'm definitely not saying that it's not true. because I wouldn't be shot. And now, and it was a lot of information for it to be false. You know, you don't do a 2-hour video and not have some major receipts in it, you know. So I haven't watched it in its entirety. It was that video that the brothers put in the orders room for you know, and started the 126-minute mark. All right? Yeah, minute 26 mark. And that's when the dude starts going into that. And the guy at ISUPK admitted, so this part is true. He admitted that there was pedophilia among ISUPK. Tazariot, yeah. UPK,
Nigga God.
he admitted, he said, but not as much as the Catholic Church. It's like, hold on, nigga, you just admitted that you got pedophiles among you? So who the real pedophiles?
Right.
All right? The same guys who and I always say, hey, look, when they do that shit, they're projecting.
Exactly.
When guys start getting all loud and rowdy and shit, they're projecting. So they're projecting their nature onto you. Or that's the same thing that them Khazars do, that the mafia does. They project their wickedness on everybody else, calling everybody else teens.
Right.
You know, and anti-Semitics. All right? They're projecting. They're making bombs and no, that's the shit y'all do.
Right. Still want this Deuteronomy on it?
Absolutely. Bring on what you got.
Isaiah 28, verse 14. It says, wherefore hear the word of the Lord, ye scornful men that rule in Jerusalem. Because he has said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell we are in agreement.
Right.
When the overflowing scourge shall come to pass, when the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it should not come near us. We have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood we have hid ourselves. So a lot of these, you find out a lot of these camps are made a covenant with the so-called white. You know, so a lot of what they're doing is in wicked.
And the two major ones, two of the major ones, the one that's now being admitted that they got pedophiles among them, all right? And the other one, what to do, you know? Matter of fact, the other three major ones, the Sakari, which are they still a thing now? They still say
They said,
okay.
shit, Alizé.
All right, so
leave it up to Alizé, he in the truth.
Yeah, he's telling the truth.
He's telling the truth.
He's selling lessons.
About
and
how
I
to
bet
take
you
this
dumbass
bag and
niggas
humble
will
it.
find it too. But you know what? The water you howl for them, that makes our chances that much better.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're seeing the Israelites that chose Barabbas in 4K. You're seeing the ones that stood stiffly for the name of Yahweh Shem Shai, and you're seeing the ones that defended Barabbas.
Yeah.
All right? And that's what it is. Barabbas was a thief and a murderer, man. You niggas would rather have a thief and a murderer than the Lord, man.
They gonna defend Gehenna too.
Yeah.
Of course.
And they gonna defend whoever these pedophiles are in UPK.
Yeah.
They gonna try to cover it up.
Yeah.
Or it's never gonna get ousted, right? Because you know we rebuke before all, man. That's what the scriptures say to do, to put evil out of Israel, man.
Hey, but let somebody from Great Millstone get a ticket for jaywalking. See Israel?
This out of order ass nigga.
Them niggas out of order.
He insatiable. He can't stop it.
He probably was across the street to get at that white girl.
No,
That's what that brother
he saw a young girl. He was running across. Come on, man. Get the fuck out of here. You niggas are wicked, man.
Yeah. That's why the scriptures say amongst my people I found wicked men.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Go ahead, huh?
This the book of Sirach, chapter 1, verse 29. Be not a hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed what thou speakest. Exalt not thyself, lest thou fall, and bring dishonor upon thy soul. And so the Most High, Yahweh Shem Shai, discover thy secrets, and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation. Because thou camest not in the truth to the fear of Yahweh Shem Shai, but thy heart is full of deceit.
Right, I don't know about you, man, but me just speaking as a man, there's no way I'm following a man who's bending over for anybody.
Stupid.
Because my personal belief, if he was bending over for her, he probably bent over for that white dude.
He did.
So that's, you know, that's just saying, you know, just saying what it really is.
Come on, man.
And then I'm not gonna follow some general if he and this man are touching on little boys and shit.
Right.
I'm not gonna be a part of that.
Not at all.
Right, and so now that is tainted, man. If you true men of the Lord, you go do your own thing. That's right. You know, you ain't, you know, don't come here. All right, but you can definitely, if you're a true man of the Lord, You know, go do your own thing. We'll be brothers on the other side. Man.
Like the apostle
Right.
Sahar said, I'm gonna beat his ass and I'm gonna kick him out.
Right, even these wicked men we speaking about. In the kingdom, we gonna love them. But on this side, ain't no love, man. These guys teach contrary to the doctrine and then slander us when we teach the doctrine.
Exactly.
All right?
Exactly. I got something back there.
Because the way that they teach keeps the payments coming in.
Exactly.
The way that they teach is in contract. They got contracts with the so-called white man. So, but you can't sleep with the white woman, but you can make contracts with the white man. Is that what you saying, Tesariat?
Hello.
All right. You can't bang a Edomite woman, but you can make contracts and do business, be in bed business-wise with an Edomite man.
Make it
See,
make
you
sense.
bunch of fucking hypocrites.
Make it make sense.
All right.
Right, you condemning the white man, calling him an Edomite. God hates you, but I can have a contract with you. I can get kickbacks. I can get tax breaks. You niggas are wicked as hell.
Lord said, pay your taxes, nigga.
Render to Caesar what is Caesar's, but that's not what that meant, nigga.
They don't know what anything
These
is.
men dirty as hell. So hold what your brothers got. I'm gonna go back into this. Give me that about ancient Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia, by the way, all right, was basically all of Western Asia, what they fraudulently and falsely call the Middle East today. Right? That's what Mesopotamia was, ancient Mesopotamia. All right? B-52s made a track called Mesopotamia. It's a pretty banging track too. All right? But they're talking about 6,000 to 8,000 years ago, they laid down the law. Right? Yeah. Right. Go ahead.
This is from AI, back from the ancient world. It says, ancient Mesopotamia, girls typically married after puberty, often between 12 and 14 years old.
There it is, man. Between 12 and 14 years old in ancient Mesopotamia, that's what you call the Middle East dumbasses.
Yeah.
That's what you call it, man.
Can you get Egypt?
Go ahead.
In Egypt, in the ancient world, it says in ancient Egypt, girls usually married around puberty, around 12 to 14 years old.
So now, didn't the Israelites come to be among the Egyptians?
Excellent.
All right.
Hey, and we was known for fucking amongst the Egyptians. That's why they said these Hebrew women lively.
Yeah.
There was some little girls. They were like 14, 15, man.
Popping them out.
Said they was lively, man. Nigga.
Hey, for all
Right.
you-
We
for
went
all
in
you
there 70
Semitic
people and left there in the millions, man.
people. Yeah.
So, what they and Hebrews didn't just have one wife either.
Hello. Let's go.
You ain't going in 70 people, all right, and coming out millions with one wife.
That's right.
Well, look, like the scripture says, you know, how can one little one become 1,000? All right, you know, how you gonna become 1,000? With plenty of those.
Read on.
All right, with a whole gang of those, man. That's how.
Run into
Right?
this shit.
That's how you're gonna become a little one's gonna become 1,000. Because we're gonna go about conquering and slaying and putting these nations into subjection, man.
Absolutely.
You know, and I particularly like Indian food. And the Arab food is pretty good. And that Mediterranean food is pretty good and it's pretty healthy. Why? Because they're Hebrew. So they cook a lot and make their food a lot of the way that we did in the ancient world.
Spices, turmeric, black pepper, shit that's actually good for your body, man.
Exactly.
Not sugar.
Okay?
Sugar.
Okay? We got them scriptures y'all was holding.
I still had that Deuteronomy.
Yeah, we're right on the whole thing because they keep talking about, you know, I don't know how they duck it, how they never in their lessons when they talking about rape, how this never comes out, man.
Well, it's because in Joshua it says, basically it says, and then shall God will with all things, because guess what? You don't have to believe, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to think that, hey, you know what? The Lord put these rules. These were all rules to deal with the situations after they happen. Not that necessarily we're going and doing these things, man. It was just judgment.
We try to explain that to them over and over again. Which we are again.
We gotta do it again.
We gotta do it again because you got laws.
Right.
We got laws. We got laws against in the Bible. We have laws on how if a woman was raped, right, and they're raped in every society, every place in the world, and how the Israelites dealt with it when it happened among them.
Exactly.
Right? There's laws on it.
Northern Kingdom does
if
this
the man,
all day.
So if the man was to get put to death, if the man had to pay the dowry, or if the man and the woman got put to death because they both were married. All right? There's laws on how to handle it.
Right.
If it happened. It's not that, hey, you know, I'm gonna wait on one of them young ones that ain't married. I'm just gonna run out there and snatch her up. No, but man, these guys are some pussy ass niggas.
Can I say the bride price in itself was a deterrent.
Yeah.
That kept you from doing that.
Exactly.
Because if you didn't have that bread, you was in a very bad case, man. So we gonna bring it. We gonna go over it again.
You ain't willing to do 14 years, nigga.
I think them shekels was like, what, 200 G's?
It's,
Bro,
it's
250
between
G's.
200 to half a mil.
250 G's to fight. Yeah, that 50 shekels. If you go into today,
Yes.
they had them.
Apostle Tahar said it equates to close to about 600,000 in
Yeah.
today's money.
Yeah.
So you figure,
Yeah,
man, you
even
gotta
more.
pay them 50 shekels, man.
You ain't
And you
finna
don't
do all
even
this
like
shit.
this, bro.
God.
And now you stuck
Now
with
you
her.
stuck with her.
You stuck with her. You can't divorce her. You gotta keep her. She get on your nerves every day. But I didn't get on your nerves when you was all on top of me.
Right, hey.
Bang, bang,
Hey, speak ill of her so you
like,
get your
damn, I
lesson.
wish I'd have never snatched
Right.
this bitch.
Yeah, and that too.
He mad at himself that he couldn't contain the spirit.
Right.
Hey,
Because now you stuck with her. You can't. Right. And now you got a bunch of kids and daughters that run their mouth just like her.
Yep.
Remind you of her. You can't wait to marry their ass off.
hey, Elder.
Say, damn, when you turn 13, get this little. Hey, yeah, I got a daughter. Would you please come get this little? Yeah, man.
Let alone speaking ill of her so you get the 40 lashes if you got a virgin.
Yeah.
It didn't matter then. She could talk all the shit she wanted after that. You got a virgin?
Yeah.
You couldn't speak ill. Oh man, you just gave me some random. No, you don't. Here's the dowry. If you want to confirm,
There you go.
you took it. Here it is.
Oh, that dude, that nigga, he did it to his little daughter, and I claimed it, by the way. That nigga Boris Kojo, that German nigga, the black nigga with the pretty eyes from Soul Food.
Yeah.
He had a son, he had his daughter, he had a son. Next hit, somebody please come get her, man.
God,
come
man.
marry her. She needs a man.
God.
She need to get out of my damn house. Because he was ancient. Yeah, he was in the ancient spirit.
He's in an ancient spirit, man.
And Northern Kingdom, for the record, Northern Kingdom, I don't know why Northern Kingdom is soft on this. That's still the law of the land. In Mexico, if like the other said, ain't nobody creeping on these girls. But if you knew that your neighbor had a young daughter and nobody took her, you're like, hey, bro, do you want her sucking dick your whole life, or do you want me to take care of her? I got the means. I got another crib. I got a land. As a father, would you be like, well, shit, I don't want her to be a single mother. Take her.
Orale.
There
Take
it
it.
is. Right.
It's a whole responsibility to
So-
take a maid,
and
man.
So now she had it. Now you know your daughter was taken care of.
For the
She
rest
in
of
a
her
big
life.
ass house on a farm with horses and food, and she taken care of.
They was doing that to that nigga Pablo Escobar.
They still do it to this day, man.
Exactly.
Northern Kingdom soft as fuck, bro.
They was bringing
Their
that
auntie
old
got took that
Pablo
way. Their
Escobar.
mama got took that way, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
We got Northern Kingdom brothers to testify to shit.
I'm doing the kingdom.
This the book of
Earth Chicano.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, verse 10 again. It says, when thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and the Lord Yahweh thy power have delivered them into thy hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and thou seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and hast a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife. Then shalt thou bring her to thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails.
Oh, another thing, when going into that piece, the Game of Thrones, how she was married to Tyrion, he didn't want to pop her because she was young. He said the bitch was terrified because of this. This is the law. Go ahead. He knew she was traumatized. Go ahead.
Verse 13, and she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her,
Because they killed her parents and her brother. Go ahead.
and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and her mother a
See
full
that?
month.
See that? So he actually was in the spirit when he said that. Go ahead.
And after that, thou shalt go in unto her, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife.
Wait a minute. It said go into her. That's what consummated the marriage. A man going into a woman, man. Not that shit from that Jagged Edge video.
Right.
Meet me at the altar.
Yeah, a ceremony in a ring don't make you married.
Them niggas was on
Right.
WWF, bro.
Biblically, sex is.
Who they getting married?
So when you get so that woman, and they're gonna teach opposite of that in this country, because women want to be with many men, or they don't want to be with men at all. Right.
Exactly.
But biblically, when a man goes to a woman and no one's ever been penetrated her before, that man is her husband.
Exactly.
For life until one of them die.
Exactly.
All right. So every man that she lets inside of her, after him, is an adultery.
That's an adultery.
That's why the Lord said, "Oh, ye adulterous nation."
Yeah.
Right? Because how many, there's brothers standing here with me now that are in their 30s, damn near 40. If you 4 or 5 years away from 40, and they never had a virgin, man.
Yeah.
Had plenty women though.
Ain't never had, and they had all kind of women, but
Never had sex.
So that's
what
it's
real
like damn.
sex
So
is.
right, because true sex is sex with a virgin. That's when
Never.
you cut and go. Right, you actually cut and go in and break the hymen. That's really what this word sex comes from. Right? So that these girls are, they coming out of grade school already that got bodies on.
Yeah.
Normally that started happening in high school, and typically with the girls in high school, there's one or two ways. They fell head over heels with love with the dude who first popped them, and he continues to pop them the whole time, right? Or the dude pop it, keep it moving, and she stopped popping everybody. Right.
Yeah,
And that's typically the way it happens, and unfortunately, it's usually the dude pop her and leave her alone, and then she for the streets.
My baby mama's sister, alright, she was my first baby mama, her sister when we was younger, she fucked with one of the guys, he was older, she was 19, he was like 35, 34, and the mama was cool with it, she didn't care, but all the other sisters and everybody used to roast her and shit, but she was a virgin when she met this nigga Pete, right? I remember, I was there, alright, she was a virgin, and her other sister actually used to roast her.
She's a 19-year-old virgin, that's rare
In the black community. So her other sisters, which was my baby mama, and the one that was older than her, and the other two that was older, used to roast her for that, right? So she ended up leaving this nigga Pete alone after she had a kid with him.
Typical.
Right now, the boy is like 16, 17, and he's my son's cousin. They like neck and neck together. But his mama my age, now I knew the nigga she was dealing with from my hood when she left this nigga. They was friends. She committed adultery on him with his friend. She got 8 abortions from one nigga and 7 from the other one. And this bitch was a virgin. She was the best one. Through. Her womb belonged to Molech. And that nigga Pete ended up drinking himself to death, man. That shit happened to him, he drunk himself to death, man.
Damn, because he was hurt. That was his virgin as well.
He drunk himself to death.
Damn. Yeah, man.
He got a white woman after that, so I give him that, but he was fucked up about that.
Many of women go out of their
mind your business,
Many
bitch.
of men go out of their wits for a woman, man.
You can't. I'll break you in half. You fucking hoe. Look, man, I'm in the spirit of GMS today. Walking past doing this. Bitch, mind your business.
She said did this.
Yeah, that's why I told her to get bitch. You thought I was a bitch. And see, this is the pride of women. Because if we was just some niggas, we could have just beat that bitch to death, man.
She knew better.
This is the pride. Yeah. This is the fucking pride of these people, man.
You watch some ancient pieces. Women wouldn't even speak in the midst of men, man.
No, they know better. They know who to do that to.
Hey, wait till the lights go off. Yeah. I'm going to stump a lot of you bitches to death. And I ain't speaking for these brothers. Hey, when the lights go off, y'all and Maya going to stump a bitch ears together. How about that?
Bring it out.
And I'm a lover boy.
Bring it
out. Go ahead.
Yeah, guess what? Them blackouts is coming too.
I know.
Oh, yeah, they are. They all over the news.
Yeah.
The FBI, the head of the FBI already talked about
Again, this gonna be orchestrated from inside when it happens.
Exactly.
So you best believe that, and they're gonna try to blame it on China or Russia or some shit. But you best believe there's gonna be some small hat here in America at the head of one of these
evil genius.
At the head of one of these unrighteous, supposedly law organizations.
That nigga gonna be working for Nabisco. Nigga working for Nabisco, evil as fuck.
Right? Putting shit in the cookies.
Right. Yeah, man, to fuck up your ride and your brain. They gonna put his ass on the panel, but he gonna press the button on your ass.
You still had that?
Go ahead, man.
Was there still some more of that?
There was a little bit more, yeah. Deuteronomy 21.
We got to get to 22. We got to get to the law of this.
The law?
This thing. Go ahead.
This Deuteronomy 21 and verse 14. And it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go whither she will. But thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her.
You definitely should not let another man pop her while you watch. And then tell her to do that to you. Read
verse 15.
Chief priest, huh?
15. If a man have 2 wives.
Wait a minute. 2 wives?
2 wives.
2 wives?
2 of them.
That's in the Bible?
Yeah.
Soft ass.
If a man have...
Hey, I wonder,
let them niggas know how you want to see it.
Well, yeah, what, man, I'm sure that they
You gotta
got...
say it like
I'm
that.
sure
The
that,
law.
I'm sure that Nate Satan is going to finagle and say something to try to... He going to try
He
to...
a master of it. He a master of it. But he also a master of the law. Come on, man. You gotta say it like this. Come on, man. Come on, man. You're a master of the law, though.
Deuteronomy 21 and 15. If a man have 2 wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, then it shall be, when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn, but he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn by giving him a double portion of all that he hath, for he is the beginning of his strength. The right of the firstborn is his.
That's it. That's it. So it was just fair. It was just. Just because you hated this bitch, you don't nullify the law of the firstborn.
The do benevolence either.
You know? Yeah, man. So that kept Israelite men honest and fair. If he had 2 wives.
Right, because you may not like this one wife. And then that would be some bitch nigga shit too.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because you don't like the woman, you gonna hate on your own child.
You hate on your own son.
It's like, no, he ain't had nothing to do with that shit.
Right. Unlike the black woman, see, just cause you look like your daddy, she gonna treat you like shit.
Just like your damn daddy.
Just cause you look like your dad.
All this in there too.
Get Bob Kushah, get Deuteronomy 22. Get the law. We gotta get the law.
The laws, the statutes, the commandments.
Right.
Yeah, I said the law.
Deuteronomy 22, verse 28. It says, if a man findeth a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed,
Play close attention, Mark Forever.
and lie hold of her,
Lay hold of her.
and lie with her,
Ooh.
and they be found,
Lie hold literally translates to grape. All right, to seize, to take hold of.
Arrest.
All right, to arrest. So if he snatch her up, all right,
Yeah.
go ahead.
then the man that lie with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver.
This was the deterrence. Okay?
'Cause
Again,
they don't understand how much money that is.
that's a lot of fucking money.
Right,
All right.
it's like, this is what you gotta do.
Exactly.
Or you're gonna face some horrible punishments.
Yeah.
Consequences. Go
So
ahead.
so if you had to bereave this amount of money for this act, otherwise you're fucked. You're gonna be in a very terrible case. That kept you from doing it.
Right, because now you might be now you're gonna be might mess around and be a slave to this man for the
Right.
rest of your fucking life.
Right.
2 years.
All right,
And-
because you got to pay that off.
7 and 7.
And you stuck with this woman.
Let's go.
Said she could have a click, she could have 13 toes. You don't even know.
Dang.
You stuck with this bitch.
Because you was too busy in the high grass, you didn't see them fucked up feet.
Let's go.
You remember Eddie Murphy, right? How he like kicked the feet like
Hammer time.
Nigga say you ain't fucking the feet. Hey, but hey, man, you had to be stuck with this woman, man.
No.
All right, these were the consequences of it.
right.
So
You
now,
ain't heard of what. See, all you heard was her moaning and shit.
Right.
And then when she started talking,
Right.
you know, you like,
she could fuck around and be deaf or something. You know what I mean? She could have a list. You know what I mean?
now you stuck with that.
Now you stuck with her,
Like,
man.
right, that's your wife, homie.
Always said.
No, you took the biscuits. No.
but your dick got
Give
you
me
in
that
the
money.
Yep.
I was gonna have a hard. You did daddy a favor.
Yep.
He's like, Lord, how am I gonna marry off this broad?
Yep.
Cause she was fine when you look at her.
Right.
Right? When she opened her mouth.
Now you stuck. Now you're broke. You're in servitude to a father, and you stuck with this goofy wife.
There you go, man.
That's what kept you from doing it.
Okay, that's one law.
Right now, granted, if you had the money, you didn't have to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you already had the money.
Yeah.
You could have multiple and the best of the land.
Go.
The scriptures say what? When they was looking for a damsel to warm our King David,
Let's go.
they sought out the most prettiest, the fairest of the daughters, which happened to be a Shunammite, a Mexican. You know what I mean? So yeah, she was chosen to
They
form
brought
King
Selena
David.
in there.
They brought Selena up in that motherfucker.
Yeah.
And what did his wife do when she saw that that beautiful Shunammite
Paid obeisance.
warming that? What did she do?
Paid obeisance. She bowed. My Lord.
My Lord, he in the bed with this beautiful young tender. She bowed. What can I do for you?
Say
my
Bobby playing in the back, tenderoni.
king? Right. Come on, man.
Tenderoni.
Come on, man.
Right. Go ahead, brother.
Go ahead.
And she shall be his wife. Because he had humbled her, he may not put her away all his days.
Right. So he stuck with it.
Right.
Now let's get the next one, man. Get the next law when the woman ain't with it and you take it anyway. As they like to somehow say that we do.
Right.
And ain't no proof for that. That's slander like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And slander can, there's a scripture that says that it's going to be done unto you what you desire to do unto the brother.
That's a law.
You niggas is.
I think
Hey,
starting
hey,
around 22. We got it.
Hey, to you lawyers, niggas, that's a law. That's a law.
If a man, Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 22. If a man, it says, if a man be found lying with a woman married to her husband,
all right. So he just saw this fine woman. They got all this rear in front with them thick, pretty lips.
Bring it up.
And that pretty brown skin.
Good.
All right. And he'd have jumped and drugged into the high grass. Go ahead.
then they both of them, then they shall both of them die.
All right. So if she was with it, all right, and she was already eyeballing him anyway.
Right.
Matter of fact, she might have even walked over into the grass.
She made herself available.
Right, and this nigga was like, he went on over there.
Hey, she drug her feet. This is the field.
Right. So that clapping, smacking sound. Go ahead, brother.
It says both. It says both the man that lied with a woman, and the woman so shall be put away. Shall be put evil away from Israel.
Right. So if the man and the woman, that woman was married, if she had a husband, not him, all right, because he could have a wife.
Right.
But it said if she had a husband and they did this, and the woman was married, then they both get put to death.
Let's go.
That's the law. Not that she get alimony and child support from the dude who was the victim.
Right.
Here your woman lying with another man, and now I gotta pay alimony and child support. She the one.
I gotta get y'all to move out.
She committed the new crime. Right.
That's
Or
violent,
not
man.
even worse. He get to move into your house.
yeah.
You gotta go.
You
That's
come,
what Exhibit
you come
said.
to see your kids. This nigga answer the door in your room. Yeah, what up, Memo? Got your house shoes on, man.
Right.
That shit is violent, man. You niggas, hey, whatever.
Hey, that's why you brothers don't get caught up
But
in
that's
these
what
women
they
too
are,
much,
man. Because these guys subscribe to Esau's kingdom.
Let's go.
They got a problem with the
Punks,
scriptures.
man.
Yeah.
They got them contracts with Esau. That's why they 501c3
right.
false prophets, man. Go ahead.
It says, if a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto her husband, and the man find her in the city and lie with her.
Now this is a woman that's betrothed. She ain't even got to be married yet. Even the betrothed, she's engaged is still going to be looked at as adultery. She's already promised to this man. But go ahead.
Then they shall bring them both unto the gate of that city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die.
Right. So I hope it was good. I hope it was the longest bus ever. All right. Because now, and like you said, we were in our strength. We were a lot stronger, man.
The rocks was bigger, nigga.
So so Jake was rolling them 100-mile-per-hour stones at your ass, man, like fucking Major League Baseball players. Yeah. All right.
And different cut stones. Pointy on all sides and shit.
So you get right. So you got stones and you were dead, man.
Hey, the Elder D-Man.
The woman and the man.
Hey, like the Elder D-Man said, he said when he was over there in the sandbox, he said he seen them Ishmaelites bury that woman to her shoulders, like right below her shoulders, above her elbows. They surrounded that bitch
They
for
put a
adultery.
they put a border behind her.
Yep, to keep her straight.
So she couldn't move.
And they surround, and they let her ass have it. and they condemn the old paths, man. That's the ancient way.
Yeah, and he witnessed that over, and the U.S. troops had to stand down.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey,
some old U.S. troops, man, we're not gonna let her do that shit. You know,
save her. Sorry, save her.
They had to stand down.
Hold on, brother. That Khabib nigga, hold on, nigga.
Yeah.
Brother, this is the law, brother.
Hey, but right after, what does it say? And then thou shalt remove evil among Israel.
That's right.
Because this shit is coming. That's why Jake fucks around and does it all the time. Jake has it as a joke.
It ain't no punishment.
The Sancho.
In every right. Yeah. They're fucking Sancho, man. Every other rap song is about yo bitch. Yo bitch on video.
That's why the scriptures say, because the sentence against an evil man is not executed speedily, it's fully setting the sons of the hearts of men to do evil. You get these niggas an inch and they go a mile.
They do.
That nigga Young Dolph got a song called 16 Zips. The niggas say, I've been fucking these niggas bitches. That's just what we do in South Memphis. Now we don't love them, we share her. We flip them and pass them.
Wicked, man.
And now he's dead. And now he's dead.
He got whacked at the fucking cookie store.
At the cookie store.
At the cook.
At the cookie store.
Yeah, them
He was in the jar and got
that
smoked.
video, bro. Slaughtered that nigga.
Damn, he literally got caught with his hands in the cookie.
In the cookie jar.
And they killed him in vain. Cause that nigga that white was supposed to get 50,000.
God, he didn't get shit.
They ain't even get the money, bro. And they caught him and he ain't get the money. Both of them.
God, no. And the city's after that nigga for that shit.
So niggas locked up.
So the Lord got two. He got rid of one nigga and got another one locked up free labor.
And his family got killed.
A lot of his
Memphis
family
niggas came and killed like his family members for killing that nigga.
Within like a
Memphis is ghetto, B.
Yeah, it was like that. Yeah.
So they love this nigga that much. They went rolled on the
Yes.
Yeah. They did the same shit with this nigga.
They're idolaters. What else you expect from these niggas?
When I was in college in Tennessee, that's when the beef was going on between Yo Gotti and Dolphin shit. One of my best friends in college was from Memphis. We was supposed to take a trip. I had all my shit packed. We finna go. The nigga came knocking on my door. That nigga say,
we ain't going
we
down
ain't going to Memphis. Nigga said, we not going. I say, nigga, you from there? He say, I don't give a fuck, bro.
He's like, I'm from the east side of the. I'm from Cicero. I'm from Naperville.
Every rap, bro, that nigga was talking about.
God, no.
They ain't playing about that nigga Dolphin.
100 shots.
Hey, but they say it's the fucking bitch dropped the location.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Of course she dropped low. Hey, many men are out of their wits for women. Many have sinned and perished for their sakes, man.
Wow.
Go ahead. I got one real
That's how niggas die. The female will take a picture and tag them at the spot. The opposite's like, oh, these niggas eating sushi. Bah, bah, bah.
Wait, but nah. But see, that goes full circle with the whole lesson. Because you niggas with your woman-friendly doctrine, you out your wits for these damn
Let's go.
women, man. You are sinning and you getting ready to perish for their sake. Because what? You're not preaching a full gospel, man.
He teaching a false doctrine so you can keep them payments coming.
And you slandering the real men of the Lord.
Yep, right. That's what they doing. That's
fucking monkeys.
That is exactly what they're doing. Right?
I got two whenever y'all done.
Yeah, he gonna bring out these scriptures. He gonna get rid of rap.
You know, certain judgments.
I got Jake holding one too, but go ahead, hold that. Take it out.
Yeah, like the brothers were saying, you know, certain judgments took place for ultimately to Israel to fulfill. But since there is no judgment, ultimately, you know, niggas is doing what they want to do. This is the book of Habakkuk 1:4. It says, therefore the law is slack, and judgments doth never go forth, but the wicked does compass about the righteous. Therefore wrong judgment proceeded. Right, exactly right, because, you know, once wickedness is allowed, you know, these basically niggas can do anything, man, and they're not held accountable. You know?
Exactly. They're not held accountable for their actions. And then women, you know, the women niggas,
they get rewarded for it.
Double GER. They get rewarded for it. They get alimony and child support. Right?
What that nigga Float, he said when he walked on Castle, he said, the reward of treason.
Right.
He said, that's how it is going in the damn. You go to the average black woman, look at this bitch Tiana Taylor. Me and your dad was talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
You know, before I opened up a can on them jakes, but nevertheless. But no, this bitch was rich when she met this nigga Arbor Shirt. I be seeing this nigga down here in River North. I be seeing him defeated, man. But what she take, Capo? She took all the money. Go ahead. Go ahead.
She got a whole lot of the money.
Mind you, he was in the NBA, but this bitch was rich when she met her. She was already an entertainer. She was born rich.
She got a whole lot of
people
money.
got money.
She get multiple thousands a month
Chicken
in
food.
Tulsa. She got all the luxury cars, about 4 properties, and yeah, and he has to pay all the private tuition, all the private school tuition.
Oh, and she
So
said,
they awarded her that, and let me get it. She stepped out on him.
No,
She did it first. She did it first. Then he did it.
hey, oh, but
Oh,
look,
but when he did it,
but look,
yeah.
after she just been awarded all this shit a couple days ago,
What she
she
said?
called the judge and said, I think he deserved to be in jail.
Yeah.
I'm pushing a motion for him to be in prison.
Tried to get him locked up for putting their business out there, supposedly, allegedly. But then ends the
He be
live
down
stream.
here mad as hell. I be seeing him, man, all the time.
I just want to get my back blown out of peace.
She said, I want to get my back
that
blown
was
out
that
in
bitch.
peace.
And his big ass crib that the Lakers bought him.
in peace.
She
She said, I
about to
want to
shoot
get my
buckets in
back
the
blown
gym.
out in peace. While this nigga just up millions of dollars, gave
The
up
cars.
all them assets, the car,
The houses.
the house. Got to pay for the kids' private school tuition.
so
Gotta
she
get you
can fuck
fed.
another man.
And
Multiple
peace.
men. So look, so like we said, man, in this season,
Yeah.
and this is what they uphold because they got contracts with the system that allows this. But
Yeah.
they're supposed to be men of the Lord. They're false prophets, man.
That's right.
100%.
The men of Israel United in Christianity and ISUPK and the men of the Pegulator, those are all false prophets.
Hey, they're backstabbers.
Right.
Yeah, that's what the Carter is, a backstabber.
Fuck me up, bro.
Where's that peg go? In the front or the back?
I got a quick
Daggerman.
Okay. This is Matthew chapter 12, verse 36. But I said to you that every idle word that men shall speak, they should give account thereof in the day of judgment. Hey, you're gonna have to pay for everything that you say, man. All right, especially against us, man, the men of the Lord, man.
That's right.
The Lord eyes is 10,000 times brighter than the sun, man.
Heck
All right, he
yeah.
see everything, man. Even the regulator. And
Hey, they're daggermen.
And the one that loves boy bums.
Wally, man. Johanna.
I got 2.
Johanna. Yeah, read this. But this was going back. I had brought this out when Jake was talking about taking that. Gus reads 20 and 22.
Here's the book of Judges, chapter 21, and verse 20. It says, therefore, they commanded the children of Benjamin, saying, go and lie in wait in the vineyard. And see,
It said, go and lie in wait.
Commanded. They were commanded to do
And
this.
they told him to get women.
From the elders of Israel. Commanded them to do this. Go ahead.
and see, and behold, the daughters of Shiloh come out to dance and dances. Then ye shall come out of the vineyards and catch you every man his wife, the daughters of Shiloh.
This is still a custom to this very day. Outside of America. It's called bride capture.
That's right.
It's a custom. Go ahead.
And this was for procreation for the record.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
because the
saying?
children of Benjamin had been depleted because of the wars. Because them niggas was going on.
Oh, because they raped that woman. Because they did a bogus rape. They gang raped that woman and she died. And they had a fight with Israel. And Israel ultimately whooped their ass. After Benjamin was whooping their ass. And once Israel started whooping their ass, they killed so many of them. They was just going to kill all of them. And they said, well, we can't cut off the tribe of Israel. So they repented of whooping Benjamin's ass. And they set him up to get women. But this is how. Go ahead.
And see, and behold, as the daughters of Shiloh come out to dance and dances, then come ye out of the vineyards and catch every man his wife and the daughters of Shiloh.
Read this, Hawashah. Watch this.
This is the word catch. All right, in the Hebrew, it's
You soft-ass
2414, mind you. It says to catch, seize. It says the primitive root to clutch, hence to seize as a prisoner.
They
Catch.
took them bitches, man.
Gotcha, bitch. That's what they did.
And what do they say in Spanish? Coger, which really sounds like fuck to the Mexicans, but it means to grab. The Puerto Ricans say, I'm gonna grab you. They want coger. But the Mexicans say, nah, fuck. We fuck them.
Go ahead.
Verse 22. And it shall be when the fathers or the brethren come to us to complain,
Say, what y'all niggas doing? What y'all on, dog?
Hey, let's put my daughter down. The elders, the nigga running away with your daughter. Joint. I was instructed by the elders. Sorry.
Yeah, he tell him.
I ain't going off.
Tell him.
Right.
And they say, okay, that's fine. Go ahead.
that we will say unto them, be favorable unto them for our sakes, because we reserve not to each man his wife in the war, for ye did not give unto them at this time that ye should be guilty.
See? So they was cool.
Yeah,
They was cool with it. They said, look, we gonna give them a breakdown when they come. Just go take them bitches and grab them.
Yeah, so when they come out and do that little dance,
Right.
because the nigga woman always want to dance.
Let's go. That's a prize
So they
thing.
said, so when they come out to do that dance, y'all hide in the bushes, basically.
Right.
And when they come out, you go snatch you one.
Let's go.
All right? And they went out there and they snatched them bras up and they ran off with them. And you best believe they consummated marriage.
Yeah.
That night.
That was it.
Hey, some of them didn't even make it back. They ran right to the bushes.
Y'all know. Listen,
They
bro.
ran and ain't nobody around.
Smack.
They just
Right.
went to war.
Smack. Hey,
Right.
but again, this is still accustomed to this very day. All throughout Africa, the Balkans, certain parts of Asia.
Paka.
This is a baka.
The Balkans.
Bye. Hey, this is accustomed to this very day, man. So say something about that.
So these guys, once again,
Punks.
what's his name? What's that? This Mark Forever guy?
Marquez.
Whoever that guy that he
Marquez,
had on his show.
yeah.
And that guy, yeah, Mark ass nigga.
That ain't no boy neither.
Double GER. Even my LA voice, Mark.
Mark.
Right?
Bitch ass Mark.
This dude, right? But that dude, and whoever that dude is, who was dropping dime on General Yohana's perverseness with little boys.
Oh yeah, that's the dude that got kicked out of Seattle, man. Fuck that dude, man. He's been a reprobate. Fuck him twice, man. Cause he was part of the niggas that colluded with Sicardi to get that that
that's
brother
who that
punched.
is.
Yeah, man, that nigga got kicked out. Yeah, fuck him twice.
All
That
these
bug out
degenerates.
with them weird ass videos that couldn't even box. All right, and had to commission somebody to go get the whatever person got punched in Seattle.
And the dude that he sent got his ass whooped.
Yeah.
They
They
left
cut the
that part
camera
out.
off with Jake
God,
Block.
no.
Look.
Yeah, the elder got up, put the flops on his ass.
Smink mock.
Right?
Stupid ass.
Got up. How you gonna write? You got the whole advantage. You would come
Send this
steal on
punk
somebody
ass over
and
here.
then get
Let's
beat up.
go. Whoop naked. Show him that.
I had a quick two.
That
Anybody else
nigga
got something
go.
else?
Who told
Bring
you?
him out, brother.
All right.
I told you not to go.
This
over
is
there fucking with them.
I'm gonna start off with Sirach 28. I'm gonna read down. 28 verse 13. It says, "Curse the whisperer and the double tongue, for such has destroyed many that were at peace."
That's you guys, man.
It says, "A backbiting tongue has disquieted many and driven them from nation to nation. Strong cities has it pulled down and overthrown the houses of great men. A backbiting tongue has cast out virtuous women and deprived them of their labors. Whoso hearkeneth unto it shall never find rest and never dwell quietly." It says, "The stroke of the whip maketh marks in the flesh, but the stroke of the tongue breaketh the bones."
Yeah, man. So slandering people, man, is a very harmful thing to do, man.
That's right.
All right, and just to continually to lie on people, simply because you are you defeated in the gospel, because you're mad that you don't have the understanding, man. That's what it comes down to. That the Holy Spirit is not dealing with you guys.
That's right.
All right, and that's what it really basically comes down to, man.
That's right.
The Spirit is not dealing with you guys, so you don't have that oil. Matter of fact, my man across the street got more oil than y'all.
Yeah.
But usually the Sicaria was over there.
Yeah.
Where they at?
Sakari, I will say a couple years ago, I think it was a couple years ago, the Sakari had came over here, and one of their members was like, "Hey, it's a lot of oil over here, man."
Yeah,
He said, "Great Millstone, yeah, y'all got a lot of oil over here, man."
Yeah, and matter of
remember
fact, Sicaria, Chicago, I had never had no problems with them dudes, man.
Yeah.
They would come up, I would speak to them all the time, and I had one of their guys came up and told me, he greeted me and hugged me, and he said, "Brother, I watch your videos all the time, man."
They gotta learn somewhere.
And so the thing is, man, I ain't never had a problem with them. It's that dude they follow, man.
Yeah.
All right, and their whole leadership. Look at her side, man. Look at these guys, man. And they all dropping bombs on each other, man. I guarantee you, man, you will never hear no story about me doing no. You won't hear me, you know, with no story about Capo getting pegged.
You damn fucking
and,
right.
And I'm gonna die before that happened to me.
God, no, fucking right.
You know? So there it is, man. You got one more?
Yeah.
Bring it out.
Let me just get to the point. This is the book of Mark, chapter 8, verse 38. Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my word.
That's these guys, man. Teaching that nigga woman soft doctrine to keep that money coming in. Right?
And keep their mama off their ass. I'm proud of what you're doing, boy.
Israel United in Christianity teaching that one wife shit. That's not biblical.
It says, Yahushua said, whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he cometh in the glory of his Father with the holy angels.
And we can't wait, man, because we're going to find out who the Lord's real chosen is soon enough, man. All right, so with that, we're going to give all praises, all honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Kakada.
Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yasharala.
Bod Pupal.
Abba, Abba.
Nigga.
Fucking niggers.
Show one, Brother Malcolm.